Hello everyone, welcome to my second podcast. I don't think it bodes well that I'm starting the podcast with bright red cheeks, knowing that when I do these podcasts I end up getting pinker and pinker. But it's because I'm sitting next to the fire and the wood burning stove. And I'm busy and I'm pink. This is why I would love to knit a red jumper, but I probably never will because I would match it too perfectly. Talking about jumpers, we've had a lot of busyness this week, putting together new kits for the beautiful golden fern sweater by Knit Love Wool. You may have seen it over on my Instagram and Facebook. I spent a lot of time today with Alison in the shop putting lots of new colourways together, which I'll be posting this evening online. Hopefully the podcast will go out tonight as well. This is another of the Knit Love jumpers, Knit Love Wool jumpers this was a knit along I started with everybody last year, but haven't finished. I dyed this one. This is my own hand dyed yarns, and I think it was 6 20-gram mini skeins that I dyed. The golden fern we're going to knit in Jameson and Smith 2-ply jumper weight, so that's going to be really nice and less work for me, less drying. So a lot of people will say to me, but knitting in the round, it's so difficult. And I know a lot of you know how easy knitting in the round is, but for those of you that don't, it's like falling off a bike. It's the simplest thing. You just keep knitting and knitting and knitting and knitting. Obviously with jumpers you're going to have shaping at the top. Sometimes there can be a bit of complex shaping. With the golden fern pattern, if any of you are joining my knit along, there's a video. Jennifer Steingass has done a video on the special German short row increasing. So I've been advised by somebody who started it and ripped it out and started it again. Watch the video. If you have any doubt at all about the actual technique that's being used, watch the video first. Okay, so that's that. I haven't actually been doing a lot of crafting myself lately because I've been busy putting new kits and ideas together, but I have been working on my Lichter mitten, and what I want to show you is why we block things. This is what my colour work looks like when I'm knitting it. Can you see it? It looks a mess. Trying to actually see the definition of that beautiful pattern, it's just yuck. Here's one that was made earlier, and yes, Penny knitted it, but Penny's looked pretty much like that too. Blocking can transform it, and you can really see the pattern comes to life when you block it. So blocking this, which is what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to use, here's my very stylish blocking form I made. Now if I put a piece of cardboard into a wet mitten, I'm going to have a piece of very soggy cardboard. So technical wizardry, I stuck it in a plastic bag, and I even made a thumb with that very typical Scandinavian shape. So as soon as I finish the thumb on this one, I'm going to, and grafted the top because I haven't done that bit yet, I'm going to soak it for about 10 minutes in some warm water, and then stick my very technical mitt blocker in it. But I'm excited to be nearly finished, and I have already sweet talked Penny, my daughter, into knitting the second one for me, so that I'll actually have a pair of mittens to wear. So I'm excited about that. I'm not going to have time to knit the second one because I've got to start thinking of new ideas for you all. Another thing that I have been doing a little bit of is my lovely sock. This is knitted in a crazy Zauber ball, and this sock was designed by my lovely friend Jan, Lids Jan on Instagram, and can you see, it's a very lovely mock cable. Oh, nice double chins there, Lucy, stylish. I'm just prop my chins up here. Very nice mock cable that isn't a cable, and it's lovely, and then plain on the back. And I do intend to be getting a lot more of these lovely Zauber balls in stock. I think there are about 7 left in the shop. They're £12.90 and worth every penny. They're just delightful to knit with, just fun. But if you are a matching sock perfectionist, don't buy them. They won't make matching socks. They'll make fraternal socks, but they're not identical. Is that the right use of fraternal? I don't know. But they'll make a lovely pair of socks. They don't match, but that's the fun. They're just beautiful. The colours will all coordinate, but they won't get matchy matching the stripes. As I say, I haven't got a lot of what I've been making chat to talk to you about, but I had an exciting delivery today of some new yarn that I'm looking at with view to stocking it in the shop from New Lanark, and it's a lovely pure wool DK. At the moment I've just got the natural shades because what I'm interested in it for right now is my little cotton rabbits kits, because I'm changing my yarn at the moment and I wanted to try something new. So here it is. There's another one as well, and it's very, I was worried it was going to be quite coarse. It is woolly. It is proper woolly sheep wool. It's not baby soft merino. I think it's nice. I know I'm somebody who loves sheepy wool. I don't think wool is scratchy. I think it's just yummy. I'd much rather knit with herdwick than silk, and you know, just to take the extremes. But this feels nice to me, and I think this is going to make really cute little rabbits. And there's a lovely shade card with some very pretty colours that I think would make nice jumpers and things too, and cowls. And so that's a new one I'm looking at. If you have any experience of New Lanark wool and want to let me know, just send me a message. I'd be interested, but at the moment, thumbs up. See, I told you I was going to get redder. I'm very red. Makes my hair look greyer. That's not a good thing. And I want to give a shout out, once again, I've left the thing behind me. 1 second. I want to give a shout out to another designer today. Designer, crafter, clever person, dyer. And that is Juanita from Simply Natural Handmade. And if you don't follow her, you should. She has some beautiful naturally dyed yarns. I just would love to have them all, but the irony of having my shop is that I get very little time to craft on projects for myself. If I am making things, it's with yarns that I stock in the shop, making new ideas, putting new things together for you guys. But I do drool over the yarns in Simple Natural Handmade. But the thing I've coveted for ages is, I'll go and get it. My very own wand. The wand chose me, beautifully packaged. Here is my birch, turn around, crochet hook, hand carved, seasoned birch crochet hook, and it is beautiful. See if I can get it into the shot. Just, isn't that lovely? Sorry, just, there we go. So I know I told you I was going to crochet the hat to go with my yellow cowl. Well, I've been waiting. This came on Monday, and obviously I was waiting for it to come on Monday, and then I've been too busy. But I'm going to have the best fun crocheting this gorgeous alpaca from Fleecy Beastlies with my beautiful new crochet hook. Which leads me very nicely onto what's going to come up in the next section, which is what you do when you have a problem with your crochet hook caused by one of the residents of your house. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And then the final section is I haven't done you a book review, I've done you a games review, because this is Locket Land Life. I don't want this to be a podcast that is just about the shop. I don't want it to be just about, you know, just be like, oh, Lucy's trying to sell us something. I want it to be about life and fun and the things that are going on in my life and in the world around me. And say shout outs to other crafters, and yeah. So you've got a bit of Locket life at the end, and it's Tom and I playing a game. Don't worry, I've speeded lots of it up. I'm learning my whizzy video skills, so you don't have to sit and watch us play the whole game. But that's the video. So you have a technical coming next, and then the fun at the end. And I do hope you enjoy it. Take care, everyone. Bye. Video about what you do if you have one of these, but you also like using one of these that then becomes one of these. Courtesy of Lotta, sit, darling Lotta. I end up with lots of chewed things. I do, yes. And yes, she is sitting on the table. This one's a naughty little tinker. So yes, so my video is about what you do when you've got a gorgeous one of these and you end up with these chewed up, mangled crochet hooks. So if your darling doggy does chew up your crochet hook and you don't want to get rid of it, you can make a new casing with polymer clay. I've made some already. Now these are not pretty and they're not stylish, but they are fun. Definitely they're fun. We've got psychedelic, very psychedelic. That was the first one I made. I do really like this one. I think this is like a Monet or something, and a little bit of a scrawny one. And you know, I'm finding what I like as I go along. As I say, neither stylish nor that aesthetically pleasing, but they're fun to make and just a bit quirky. So what you need to do, sorry, I haven't got very pretty hands, old, dry, wrinkly fingers, apologies. This is my crochet hook. I've cut it open and can take the hook out. And then I've got 3 little dots of polymer clay. I don't think I'm going to need this much. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. So we'll move the hook out of sight. I'm going to break off some of the blue and some of the turquoise and some of the green. And then I could use a rolling pin. I don't have one to hand. I'm impetuous and impatient. I think you've already all discovered this about me. So I'm just squidging it, technical term, with my fingers to make a little flat bit. A bit of the blue, turquoisey blue. And I'm sure there are lots of technical things about how thin this should be rolled, how much I should be doing it, but again, this is me. Technical schmechnical. So again, with the light turquoise, just squidging it flat. As you can see, I'm not a polymer clay expert. Those hooks I just showed you on my first attempt. So I've made a little polymer sandwich, but I don't want to eat it. So I squidge it a bit. And if I was doing this carefully, they would all be the same size and all those sorts of things. But no, this is just for fun. So I've made my little squodge. I'm now going to roll it. I really don't like my hands. Wouldn't it be lovely to have lovely, long, elegant pianist fingers or something? Not something I'm ever going to learn. And yes, I do bite my nails. I did stop once for quite a long time. My mum managed to stop. She'd bitten her nails all her life, and she stopped when she was about 40. A good friend of my parents had died suddenly, and she thought, here I am, age 40, still biting my nails. It's ridiculous. I'm going to stop. And she just did. Never has since. I'm so impressed because, yeah, didn't happen for me. Oh, she might have been a bit old, I don't know. So I've rolled a sausage. So now I'm going to cut it, and I've probably rolled it too thin, but you can see you've got, back into camera, got that sort of swirl effect. So I'm going to cut lots of little slices of swirl, and you can get very posh cutters for this apparently. I have to tell you about this knife. This is my favourite knife. It's by, I did say who it was by. It's Victorinox, and it's a tomato knife, and it's the only knife I ever like to use to cut anything, any vegetables, and it's great. And I even took it away on retreats with me. It's a good knife, very good. I have two. So here I've got my little slices. So I get my crochet hook. I'm going to cover up to here. And again, this is something I'm going to learn with time. I probably could have cut these thinner, but just for the video I didn't. And we're just going to squidge them on. I don't want it to be perfect. Again, typical of me. So some are going in one direction, others in the other. Just going to steadily fill this up. And this is where I discover I didn't roll enough. It doesn't matter about the gaps, they're going to go. There we go, there's another one. So yeah, biting my nails, I think it's just a habit that you need to unlearn. But I know that they're never going to grow beautifully again, so as long as, and I don't like wearing nail varnish. So. Can you imagine me being all posh and smart with makeup and nail varnish? Because I certainly can't. Just doesn't fit. So this looks like a light, lumpy, horrible mess at the moment, and I'm not going to have enough of the clay to get all the way down to the bottom, but that's okay too, because I kept some back here. And it's going to squidge anyway, because I've set it right to the top, and because I know it's going to, this is the highest I want it to go, so I'm just going to start squidging, but kind of with a downward action, because I want to compress it towards this bit where I haven't filled it up. No real skill or science to it. What I should be doing is making more of these sort of slabs and whorls, because I haven't got enough to quite reach the end. But because nothing has to be perfect in my world, I'm just going to squodge some random bits at the bottom just so I can finish this off and show you. So it's truly slapdash Lucy. Am I giving you confidence? Maybe not. A bit more squodge there. Squodge, squodge, squodge. And then I can put a little bit more at the bottom. So move those off there, move the sharp knife out of the way. I'm just going to roll it again. I'm not pressing hard, I'm just letting them smudge together so that the kind of little cracks here start to disappear. And if I rolled it a lot more, I could make it more swirly whirly, like that one, a bit more. So it's kind of halfway between this one and this one at the moment. I think I probably with this one smushed it all up a bit more before I put it on the hook as well. But there you go. So it's quite a nice thickness, quite even. Most of the smoochies have, cracks and things have disappeared. And there you go, there's my crochet hook. So all I need to do now is stick it in the oven. I put it on a bit of baking paper on a tray, and it needs to go in at 110 degrees for about 30 minutes just to harden off and cure. But there, that's what you can do when you've got a naughty puppy that eats your crochet hook. And they're really hard. But I was saying they're hard, they're not hard plastic to hold. They've got that sort of slightly matte texture. So they're quite nice to handle. Do be careful though, because I've got one I tried to use. Which one was it? And I found I had this one. I'd nicked the metal when I'd cut the casing off of the old one. I'd nicked the metal, so I'm going to have to find a file and file that down, because obviously that's going to catch when I crochet. But there you go, crazy crochet hooks. Yes. Okay, so instead of a book review this week, I thought I'd show you one of the games we've been really enjoying playing during lockdown. Tom and I always like playing lots of games. The others are less keen. But this is Rummikub. It's kind of like the game Rummy with cards, but done with tiles. So the first thing we've got to do is pick a tile, see who goes first. Okay, what do you get, Tom? Okay, Tom goes first. And then we're going to pick 14 tiles each, randomly, on our racks. Okay, so the point of the game is to try and make runs or sets, but to be able to play the very first hand, tiles have to add up to at least 30 points. So Tom gets to go first. If he can put down 30, he will. If he can't, he has to pick up a tile. Right, okay, so what can I do? This is where I've got to try and do some mental arithmetic, which no, I can't do anything yet. Now there are jokers in here that are smiley faces, as you can see on the box. So it's my go now, and I can go this time. So I put blues, yellow 11, 12, 13, and I can put 2, 3. I'll show you my hand. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't see my hand. And then I'm ready for my next go, and I might be able to do something. So now Tom can go again. Can you see my tiles? Just, I don't trust Tom. So this is one of the jokers. Sorry, Tom. So I can now go 5, 6, 7, and 8. So Thomas, you'll go again. What you can do, what's fun in Rummikub is I don't actually have to just play with my tiles. I can steal from Tom, I can add to Tom, I can change it all around. So what Tom's really hoping for now is a red 7, so he can steal my joker. And I'm really hoping he doesn't get one. Tom? First before I can put down again. Rude. So Tom's just stolen my 5 to make his sets of 5, but I got my red 7. So because Tom can add to my, to keep that as a set of 3 by having the 5 on the end, means he can take the 2 away. And he's won. That was cheeky. So that's how you play Rummikub. It's really good, it's really addictive, and when you can do, sometimes you can do things that are so complicated and so clever, when you can take one from, dismantle that and mesh it to make another, and then split up something else, and it's, yeah, it's good fun. So it's one of our favourite games, and I'm going to